Hello and welcome to Left Coast Live. It is Monday, April 7th. I am your host, Dieter McBusiness, joined as always by my co host of the Central Valley, Stat Pat Stateless Patriot. Hope you enjoyed last week's April Fool's episode with Stat Pat going right for a little bit, which was really fun. But he is back, and thank God.
Hmm. Of
Once
course.
again, my voice of sanity in these crazy times. Because
Yeah.
I have kind of like actively ignored a lot of news. I wait till the end of the day now to do my news because it's so upsetting everything that's going on.
I envy you, honestly. Yeah, there's literally just so much, and it just brings down the mood for sure. The end of the day is like the worst for me when it comes to consuming news because, like, by the end of the day, I just worked and it should be winding down instead of like stressing over some new nightmare, some new tidbit of information, some new news item that or an update to an existing news item. It's just
Hmm.
like I'd rather be winding down and like not be distracted by whatever the fuck is going on. Like I got shows to catch up on.
Yeah.
But I try my best during the day to like see what's up, and like if something passes my feed and like just pops up or whatever, then it's there. I'm aware of it, but it's it's a lot to just actively seek it out and just like be informed about shit because it's just too upsetting. Just so
Right.
much of it is too upsetting.
Yeah, and to see Fox News staying like loyal, but then at the other hand, having to deal with the stock market crash
Hmm.
is pretty amazing. Like
Of
they're all
course.
about like the party of money and the party of raging economy is always the performance of the stock market, right?
Yeah.
So they have an interesting quagmire in front of them that they're not navigating very well. It's kind of funny to watch
No. Yeah.
all of the business people are like, yeah, this is stupid. No
Of
one is doing.
course. Yeah. Yeah. It's like they're all walking a tightrope because it's just like, yeah, go Trump, go, and also like none of this makes any fucking sense whatsoever. Like, oh yeah, I just lost thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars potentially, but whatever. I mean, are we winning yet? Is this making America great again? And it's just a whole fucking mess. Apparently, like he used like a really dumb math equation that like he got from like some sort of like Chat GPT or some equivalent to that. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and there's more and more shit about AI that's coming out, which is a whole other tangent about how uh their
AI is
source
going to be a
material.
red hot issue in 2028.
Of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
AI is going to be a red hot issue in 2028,
Hmm.
and the tech bro oligarchy is going to be on trial, and
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if people on the left rise to the occasion because it's going to be a meaty pitch down the center
yeah,
to
yeah,
take a swing at for the
yeah.
left.
Exactly, and
I'm thinking that this midterms are going to result in him losing the House, but probably not the Senate. And I
maybe.
think that we'll still see turnout issues with
Yeah,
primary voters in
probably.
2026. And I think that we will see, simply because it's a presidential election year, you'll see primary voters come out in record numbers in 2028. That's my recent like hedge of this voter growth. Um,
Yeah.
there will be a big participation number in the midterms, but like Kat Abigazlela, whatever, she should win.
Hmm.
At least I hope she wins. I have no
Right.
idea if she. I have no idea. I shouldn't say she should win because I honestly have no idea what her chances are. She should be pretty good because their incumbent is like 80 years old and should just retire and bow out. So Kat could be a shoe in for that spot, and I hope she gets it. But I think there's only going to be a handful of her, that happen.
Yeah.
and that even run, and who knows how many win. And the real wave is going to be 2028, I think, simply because it's a presidential election year.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, given the results of the Supreme Court race in Wisconsin and the fact that it was a special election and it swung super far to the left for the Democrats,
Hmm.
I think that's a really, really good sign. People are really fed up with the Republicans right now, and not to mention, people only show up like if they're going to be voting for Trump. I truly believe that, at least at least recently, because when it comes to the midterms, usually like in like the Democrats have shown to do better, because in 2022 it was supposed to be this red wave, and that red wave
Right.
never actually came. And more and more and more Republicans are completely pissed off as well, because they didn't vote for their retirement to be squandered, their 401ks disappearing. A lot of people are pissed and confused right now. Stock market is taking its shit. It's just total fucking chaos. Supreme Court race was like 55-45, right? Yes, that is correct. 10 points. She won by 10 points. And not to mention, really safe districts for Republicans in Florida. Um, States that, like, counties, I should say, that
Yeah, I
went,
think they did really well, even though they lost. The Democrats did really
yeah,
well. Yeah, they
they
only
they
lost
over
by. They think they jumped to like by like 17 points or something like that.
something crazy. Like, they gained a whole hell of a lot of ground in
Yeah.
what's were supposed to be safe red districts. So now it's like,
Florida
this.
has changed in my lifetime, man. You don't
Oh
know.
God,
Like Florida before you were around was actually a pretty open-minded place,
yeah,
and it just went red after W and just never looked back.
right, yeah,
Like, well, I guess Obama won Florida in
right,
08.
right, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I do hold out a lot of hope that, you know midterms are going to swing well for the Democrats, especially the worse the economy gets, because I mean, there's really no getting around the fact that Trump is basically holding the entire world economy hostage right now with these tariffs that make zero sense. Nobody can make heads or tails of them.
Right.
Um, Megan says, "Well, when it's Gates promoting whoever's on the ballot too, yeah, yeah, down in Florida, yeah, that's a poisonous name on the right." Um, I mean, these tariffs, if done properly, they could have proved to be fruitful. But it's like, I've been talking to fucking everybody. My dad and I had a long conversation about it. And it's just like, his thing is, yeah, the whole economy needs a big reset, trim the fat, shake off the dead weight. Um, there's a lot of bloats that's pretty obvious, even before Trump was he took office. A lot of what's being lost right now is the shit being controlled by hedge fund managers. Like,
Mm.
the hedge funds are just fucking having a horrible time right now, which fucking great. Fuck them. Who cares? Um, but if they go on for too long, that's where when the permanent damage starts. And
Mm.
if Trump and his cronies, who even knows if it's more than just Trump behind these tariffs, are sociopathic enough, they'll just keep everything in place, especially if none of the countries are willing to bite and negotiate new trade deals and shit. Especially if they don't reverse course and just go back to free trade.
Mm-hmm.
It could get really, 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 really fucking bad. Um, but right now, I mean, a lot of tariffs don't even really go into place until, I guess, like tomorrow or Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So the damage still remains to be seen. But just the fact alone that the market is reacting like this, the Nasdaq down 20%, S&P down similar numbers. Um, it's A lot of people are not happy. A lot of people are panicking. It's literally like a it's pretty much a crash. It's
Mhm.
definitely it's definitely bear market territory. Lots of selling off, lots of
I think
uncertainty,
it's
and
already a
that's
bear market. I think we're
it's
like
been it for a minute. Yeah, uh,
yeah,
yeah. So the thing right now is just like people don't know whether to buy the dip or not because they don't know how deep this is going to sink. And
right.
so uncertainty is bad for business, it's bad for capitalism, it's bad for the market. So a lot of people are just left swinging in the wind, and now people are getting margin calls. You got a couple banks calling for stimulus checks to be issued immediately. Meanwhile, the Fed's like, like unemployment's still fine. We're worried that these tariffs are going to cause inflation to go back up, so we're not in a rush to cut interest rates. We're just sitting back for now. There's just so many. Um, there's so many facets of this that just spelled just however you look at it from any side, left, right, middle, financial, business, whatever, um or even if you're a foreign government as well, there's just too much uncertainty right now. No one has a fucking clue what's going to happen because Trump can't be trusted on anything. And this is the thing too. This is what really gets me. Let me get to and before I get to that, let me get to what Megan's saying. The market bounced back almost entirely because of a fake story this morning about a 90-day delay on the tariffs. I saw that. Yeah, as soon as they realized it was fake, it started crashing again. Yep, I know all about that. Yep, it was literally a fake tweet. Some guy named Bloomberg, not like the Michael Bloomberg, but some guy said that the White House was going to delay the tariffs for 90 days, and uh, basically the whole market reacted and shot right back up to like the Dow Jones gained like 10% in like just a couple hours. And then when they realized it was fake, it went right back down because it shows that
It's a
people are
casino, dude. It's not a real
yeah,
capital market.
yeah, like people are just desperate. People are just hoping that the tariff thing just resolves itself immediately. Like uh they're tired of this shit, you know. Which banks have called for stimulus? I forget. I think there's a piece in the Wall Street Journal. I forget the exact bank. I don't think it's J.P. Morgan, but it could have been. It, I'll have to look into it. There's a report that came out. I'm sure if you look in bank calls for stimulus checks immediately, um, it'll probably pop up in the search results. But here is my thing, and my dad didn't even really have much of an answer for this, even though he's convinced that what Trump's doing is like evil genius kind of thing. Uh, shock the market, shock the economy, like rejolt it, um, and just basically burn it down, burn down those that are taking advantage of the hedge funds and shit like that. Excuse me. But when it comes to companies, when it comes to corporations, and like all the rhetoric about wanting countries to build in America, wanting to bring back American manufacturing, wanting to um, make America like a beacon for uh, uh, investment again.
Mhm.
Um, I don't understand how, for one, you don't put all the manufacturing infrastructure in place in America first. Apparently, there's a lot left over because COVID kind of wiped out a lot of it, but a lot of it still remains overseas: Taiwan, Vietnam, China, what have you.
Mhm. Sure.
Um, but if you're not going to incentivize them like with through subsidies
Right.
or
No, you
or
have to
or
have
whatever,
industrial policy that supports the growth of new industries here domestically.
yeah, not
There has to be a counter policy that promotes the growth of like car parts, for example. If you wanted all the car parts to be made here, you'd have to
yeah,
rapidly grow like 1,000 different companies.
dude, yeah.
And, I mean, it would just be, it's so
It would take a
convoluted. It's like, it's what's the genie's out of the bottle with global trade. Like, global
mhm.
trade is here and it's not going anywhere. If you wanted to do
Yeah, that's the thing.
incremental tariffs that were targeted in certain areas, over time that
Yeah.
could have maybe resulted in some hedging of the market, some manipulation of the market in a productive way. But that's obviously not what's happening. It's shocking the
No,
system, like you were saying, and I don't think it's going to have the desired effect that a lot of MAGA loyalists. I still can't believe his popularity numbers are still like north of 45. I think it was like
insane.
48 last time I looked,
I,
but
th-
that was
I,
a few days ago, so
I
it could have gone down since then.
I've seen some numbers as low as like 36 or 38 or something like that. So
Yeah, and he needs
it,
to get into the low 30s for
yeah,
something to change. And I think that's possible within like a month, maybe two. He could be around 33. I mean,
hmm
but that's probably as low as it's going to go, is like maybe 31. But
right,
I don't expect that to happen for maybe another, I don't know, till July 4th.
right,
Um,
yeah. It remains to be seen, like how far they're going to drop. Regardless, um, so Megan asked which banks have called for stimulus, and only Google results are from China. Sounds like fake news. China right now is doing a shit ton of stimulus in their economy, like a whole hell of a bunch right now. They're also taking the opposite approach of the United States right now by offering up free trade. Like, hey, you want to trade with us? Fucking here's our ass. We're legs spread for
yeah,
you. Come
China's
come
open
and
for
get it.
business.
Yeah,
China's open for
yeah.
business right now, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Why in the fuck would any corporation, any company, any business in the world hold loyalty to the US when they can do business elsewhere for cheaper? And these tariffs, even for companies that are literally right here in America right now, are still going to have to import shit from other
Right.
countries.
And
And if we
assemble the
have
products here. Yeah.
yeah, if we have all these insane tariffs that Trump announced on basically every single fucking country, that we're gonna have to import that shit anyway and pay extra for it, like for this shit anyway. Whereas if you're stationed, if your factories and whatnot are stationed set up in other countries, you don't have to deal with these fucking tariffs because they don't apply to you because you're not based in America. So like if like a good example are the car companies right now because Trump wants the automotive industry to be set up here in America. They still need to import from other countries for parts, and if we're tariffing them, how is that going to benefit the automotive industry, let alone consumers? God, the consumers are going to get the like the fucking shit end of the stick the worst. Especially the
Yes.
longer this goes on, it's gonna get
Yes.
really fucking bad.
Check it out.
Um,
So when talking about my popularity numbers, those numbers sound like a bunch of stubborn conservatives who refuse to admit they were wrong. Yeah,
right?
ironic, isn't it? I mean, that's what conservatives are, is stubborn children that refuse to admit they're wrong. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the Republican Party has become,
No, of
is a bunch of
course.
stubborn people who refuse to admit that tax cuts and deregulation and corporate America first is not the way to a more equal opportunity society.
Yeah,
So I think you're
and
gonna the generational change. Everyone loves to talk about the transfer of wealth that's going to happen from baby boomers to their descendants, but the transfer of political power is obviously something that we're more interested in.
sure. Yeah, and like they're holding on to literally all of that wealth and power for as long as their old decrepit hands can muster. Maggie says, "Do business for cheaper does not mean more profit." Sure, we have the wealthiest consumer market in the world for size. Yeah, I mean that's also true. Same thing with Google results looking for banks looking for stimulus, not a thing. I saw those, and I see what you're referring to. I'll have to like look into it myself. And why do you have to import parts? Because not everything is built in America.
Yeah,
Not
the
every
the
mineral, like especially
right.
like semiconductors and
There used to
precious
be a
metals.
day, there was a day like 40, 50 years ago where independent economies could produce things soup to nuts. And those
Mhm.
days are gone because of the global economy, because of the deregulation that's taken place.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
genie is out of the bottle. It's not complicated. You can't go back. Like we
Hmm.
are addicted to free market, free trade, and that's just something that we need to come to terms with as
Yeah.
we if we're as what we're going to do next, because I think we need to completely restructure society.
Right.
I think we need to go back to New Deal politics and redefine the relationship between government and citizen in a more specific way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what is needed to happen. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in the same place in, 3 or 4 election cycles where a different Republican is in office. I don't know. It's not. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I'm looking into bank calling for immediate stimulus checks. It might not have been a bank. It might have been a different entity. But there's this YouTuber I watched called Meet Kevin, who's like top of the line, trading, investing, bro. Really in touch with the market. Really knows his shit. Very informative. And he's not like politically biased too, which it is valuable in the field such as economics and trading in the market and whatnot, shit like that. Um, it was something that he referred to. Yeah, fucking little tease. Oh, a YouTuber said it. I see, says Megan. Yeah, that's where I heard it. So it was a report. So it's probably not something that you'll find easily in like news results. For that matter. The company I work for can make just about everything in America with 99.99% American materials, both a high tech and mechanical production. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously it's super complicated and you're not going to have everything made here. You're not going to have like precious minerals and metals that are like they're going to come from America. You're going to need to import some things. I mean, for example, like China and Taiwan have like a pretty sizable near monopoly on semiconductors, and that's
Mm-hmm.
essential for a lot of tech. And if America's just going to keep on pissing them off and you know going tit for tat when it comes to tariffs, an all-out trade war, they can just be like, "Hey, no more exports of this shit. Good luck." So,
Yeah.
and then there really goes the global economy, especially the tech industry, and you'll see the Nasdaq fall off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, that'll be
It's a
fun.
mess. Yeah, it's a mess.
No, I mean we're going on a heroin trip, man, with conservative capitalism. Here we go.
Yeah.
This isn't even really conservative capitalism anymore. It's just a mutant
Well,
of
if it,
attitude
yeah,
towards like this. Like it's a protectionist. It's an outdated protectionist attitude
very outdated.
toward building the economy.
Yeah, and
And no
Trump's
one ever suggested doing it this quickly. By the way, no one's ever
no, of
suggested doing it
course.
like shock the system like this.
Yeah, it's like at the very least, fucking build into it, like have everything in place, and then use the tariffs as leverage, and do it in a targeted way. There's a way to do this that's, yeah, that doesn't require like I want what I want now because I want it.
Right.
Like it's like
Right.
we've talked about before, and not to mention like if this was truly conservative capitalism, Trump will probably be facing impeachment for what he's fucking doing right
Yeah.
now. Like this is
Right.
like beyond absurd to like to the point like to the degree where if you're losing people like Ted Cruz and you got the entire Republican Senate right now that's facing a lot of pressure to basically rescind these tariffs because I guess they have to approve it. They have to go through fucking Congress. But of course, like, what does it matter now with the Supreme Court saying that Trump's like a king among men? I mean, if this is an official act, can't really hold him accountable for it. But I mean, Congress still does have some power there. But the question is, are they actually going to rein him in? Are they more worried about their reelection chances, or
Yes.
are they more worried about like appeasing Trump? because
Uh,
they have to walk that tightrope. It's like, do I piss off Trump? Do I piss off the electorate? It's
well,
just
that's what I
like,
was saying about his popularity numbers getting into 30s, and then think people then will really freak out. Josh says, liberal here. I'm concerned about our manufacturing because without manufacturing, we can't win major wars. Well, yeah, wars.
mm,
I mean, we dictate whether or not wars happen for the most part.
yeah,
So we don't need to think. I don't think thinking about manufacturing as the primarily for prepping to win wars is it's a
yeah,
very singular view of our economy. The military industrial complex is a huge part of our economy and a huge part of our politics. So Josh, as a liberal, and I guess you're not a progressive, I
well,
would
here's the
definitely encourage you to get to know the military industrial complex because that's related to what you're talking about. But go ahead, step out.
yeah. So when it comes to the advent of major wars, it should go without saying that the more stable the global economy is, the less need there is
For a
for
war, right?
a war. Yeah, and we're closer than than we've been in a while because of this trade war that we're not only that we're waging against the entire world, but with our biggest trading partner
Right.
besides obviously Mexico and Canada, which are exempted for good reason, if you ask
He's
me.
got another one here. China is a bigger threat to the U.S. than the Soviet Union was. If they decide to, they could choke us off from the oceans. I mean,
I mean,
I
maybe
don't think China is that stupid. That would be bad for
no.
business, like StatPat is saying. That would be bad for business. And then
So
Josh wanted. I just wanted to wrap him up. I'm
sure,
very progressive, but I also want a strong military. Yeah, man. When it's the number one line item on the budget in terms of discretionary spending, then you're going to have a strong military. We spend more on our military than the next 10 nations combined globally, even more than China. Like, yeah, I don't agree with this. China is a bigger threat to the US than the Soviet Union was because we are attached at the hip with China,
yeah.
economically speaking.
So
Like
here,
we have to do business with each other to survive and grow because it's grow or die, not just in business, but in terms of a global economy.
yeah, yeah. So the thing with China is they've made moves over over recent years. Um, it to be a bit more independent from trade with us, so they're a lot less reliant on us because it's become it's become more so the case now that we kind of do need China more than they need
Need
us.
us. Yeah.
They're a lot more economically stable, at least comparatively to right now. Definitely. But it doesn't mean that they're not vulnerable. It doesn't mean that they aren't seen as an adversary. They're what we consider a near peer. They're definitely the closest. Yeah, they're not a threat. They're only a threat if we, because they're a gigantic country. They're a gigantic economy. Like, so, of course, America, number one, baby, is going to see them as a threat. And like, it's the Chinese fucking century now, especially with the moves that the Trump administration is making. But they understand that they can't rely on us for everything, and so they understand that. Yes, correct. We are the biggest threat to world peace. Like, everybody's fucking done with us right now. Like, what incentive does any country, including the Chinese, have to continue trading
And we're
with
not
us?
reliable. We're not
Y-
reliable.
yeah, yeah. Like, you want sustainability. You want excuse me. You want
Dude.
stability. Yeah. Uh, y- Even Megan says right here, manufacturing is also important for medical goods and technology, not just war, though both are very, very important in war. And she was correcting me earlier. China declared an export ban and imposed restrictions on several minerals and metals to the U.S. On December 3rd, 2024. That's interesting. Um, because that's still when Biden was president, and I know he signed the Chips Act, and there was an incentive then, especially then, to make a lot more like semiconductors here, like base a lot of the manufacturing here in the U.S. If not Taiwan. Um, she also says Commerce Ministry said that exports of antimony, gallium, germanium, and superhard materials to the U.S. would cease. Additionally, graphite products. Yeah, that's right. And apparently, I actually just saw like a headline about that recently, and I didn't know that like dates back to their uh, actions back in December. China's second most populous country in the world, but will face internal issues left over due to one-child policy. That's true. That's a whole other thing as well.
I'm sure they'll find a way around it, though. They're pretty good problem solvers over there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they'd have to do it soon. I mean, I mean, obviously, they're very centralized. So like, the, that they do benefit from that being a major aspect of their country. But countries like South Korea, on the other hand,
Hmm.
they're they're fucking done. Like they have like their uh fertility rate right now is like 0.75, and yeah, it's crazy bad there right now. It's crazy bad. And they're not so privy to opening up to immigration, and basically their country is set to collapse like within this century because of the population collapse. Like there's just
Wow.
not enough people. It's
Why don't
like
they? They have to reconsider immigration.
that's the only solution. I mean, me and Megan actually talked about when we were down in Santa Cruz about how um the most likely outcome would be South Korea, North Korea reunite. Like it's such a crazy thing, you know.
I don't think that would happen.
Well, here's the thing: if it gets to the point to where South Korea is basically like just an aged out population, not enough people replacing the population, not enough people having kids and whatnot. Um, their their society falls apart. Like unless they just turn to robotics or immigration or do something drastic, like hey, you need to have 4 kids. It may not even be enough at that point because from what I've seen, they are past the tipping point. So at that point, what would happen would be North Korea would move in, or maybe another war starts, or maybe miraculously some deal gets made, and like the North and the South reunite, and maybe maybe the problem is solved that way. But from what I've seen, yeah, come like the 2060s, conservatively, South Korea is kind of basically done for.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure we're going to see some major, some world-changing events, but before
mhm,
then,
mhm.
yeah,
No, of course, of course. And Megan, talking about China, yeah, they'll release a virus that kills the elderly.
yeah.
Yeah, one Korea, let's fucking go. Yeah, it's a fucking mess. Like the whole fucking world's a goddamn mess.
Yeah, it's tough to watch. Like I said, I don't know. I go back and forth. Some days I start my day with the news, and some days I end the day with the news. But I've been trying. Some days I go without watching the news. Like this whole weekend, I just
Hmm.
dodged the news the whole weekend because I just wanted to enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, me too.
And
That's basically what I did.
so I really was thrilled to get through, catch up this afternoon, and be like, oh my god, like what the
Hmm.
fuck is going on? Like, and
Right.
I mean, and not that the stock market is the most important thing, but when it gets killed this much, like
No,
worse than
yeah.
COVID, worse than 9/11, like when it gets killed this much,
Yeah.
that's not good for anybody. That's
Yeah.
not good for. I mean, except for the super rich who got their money out already, probably.
Yeah, for the most part. Like the ultra rich are gonna be totally fucking fine, but
Yeah.
all the millionaires that had a lot of shit tied up with the stock market and everything, and just keep on getting teased like, "Oh, buy the dip now! Yay, the tariffs are on hold. We can invest again." And all of a sudden, fake, fucking, and
Right.
then just lose a whole another couple trillion dollars of
Yeah.
market value. Insane. Super rich are putting more money in. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. Like it's this mindset of buy the dip. Warren Buffett made money. Yeah, he's like the smartest one in the game. That's
Yeah.
one
Warren
of the
Buffett's
best.
Warren Buffett. He knows. Yeah, he knows
Y-
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, even like the months leading up to this whole thing, he and Berkshire Hathaway,
Yeah, that's
uh,
his company.
yeah, they started sitting on more and more cash. They started, I guess you could say, like they were liquidating their
Yeah, he saw it
assets.
coming, dude. He saw it
Yeah,
coming.
of
He saw it
course,
coming,
of
man. He cashed
course.
out.
Hmm.
Cashed out on a bunch of stuff to hedge
Yeah,
his, to hedge it, and then they're
yeah,
gonna buy. They'll buy it when it dips all the way to its lowest point.
yeah.
Make out like bandits.
No, of
That's
course.
capitalism.
That's how
Like
it
that's
goes.
if you want to simplify capitalism down to like its flaw. I was thinking about this because I was fed some Wall Street the movie quotes like on YouTube or whatever. Most of capitalism is just a small percentage of the population owning things, and
Yeah,
then everybody works for the things that they own. And then
right.
every now and then, there are some people that rise from the working class to the owning class to the investing class, is what I would call it. But it's very rare. It doesn't happen a lot, and most people who do make that transition started in the middle class, and the
Yeah,
middle class just doesn't really exist anymore. It's just
yeah,
there's the working poor, there's the working class, but the working class is now, by contrast to the super wealthy, the poor. Like they're poor.
yeah,
They're living 50% of the countries on paycheck to paycheck. Like, give me a break.
yeah. I even saw
This
Scott
is hell.
Besson. Right, Scott Besson was being interviewed by, I think, Meet the Press, and even the host that was interviewing him made the point like, "Hey, the bottom 50% of Americans own 1% of stocks. Like,
Right.
it, most of who's being affected right now are the rich, but like there's still
Right.
like people's 401ks are being just
Right.
devastated right now. It's crazy, and he just like has no fucking answers. He's just regurgitating what Trump's saying. He's like, "Oh, this is a long term thing. It'll be short
Right.
term pain, and we need to reset this economy because blah 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 reasons." And just and like even in other interviews too, like he's just like had nothing really to say about the tariffs. He couldn't really justify them like effectively. A lot of long-term Trump sycophants who have been fucking kissing his orange ass for years now are like, I'm losing a shitload of money. Like, did we elect a fucking retard into office? Like, what is going on here? Like this, I fucking who was the guy, Megan? It was one of these like some sort of podcast bro who was like, I
Not Theo
lost.
Vaughn.
No, not him. It was some other guy. Dave Portnoy. Wait, was it Dave Portnoy? It might have been Dave Portnoy. He was saying in a viral clip that he lost $7 million. Because of all this tariff shit and the market reacting. It's
That's a
fucking
good
abysmal,
anecdote.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, because
What?
he's like the American dream. He started his own media company, a sports media company, and then he went right. He was like became a Tucker Carlson buddy,
Hmm.
and so he's $7 million. I don't care who you are, that hurts. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really hurt if you're Elon,
No, of
um,
course.
but that's the whole chicken caboodle. Was guys
Hmm.
like that was like that's the American dream, is to start your own company and have it blow up and become worth $100 million or more. You know,
Yeah,
That's what it used to be. But now it's like Gen Z has a warped view on this. They think you got to be like a billionaire in order to be like really comfortable. They
yeah,
have a very yeah they have a very warped view, um, and it's something I'm trying to get familiar with and speak to because they're getting fucked right now too. You know, they got
right.
there's going to be fewer and fewer jobs out there because of all this.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I guess Megan sent me a list of the highest losses so far. I'm not seeing it, doll. Did you text it to me?
It's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Like, right now, it's just like the wealthiest 1% of people being hurt the most.
Biggest losers in stock market today. Top daily losses. Samsonite, Hutchmed, Lenovo, which is the old IBM.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
Goodyear Tire Company. Who gives a shit? All these companies that some of whom we've heard of, most of whom you haven't, because so many companies are B2B, business to
Yeah.
business. For those who don't understand that, I think I don't know what percentage of companies are B2C, but it's not nearly as many as there are B2B. Um,
What are those two again?
Business to consumer versus business to business.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
like
like a
businesses that literally
so like
exist to
a,
serve
a
businesses.
like a sugar company of high fructose corn
Uh,
syrup selling something to Mars to create Milky Way
right.
bars, right? Like
Okay.
that's a B2B, but then the Mars is B2C. Like that's the company that
Yeah.
actually, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. I see. Okay. Megan
Yeah.
says no. It was individual losses. Maybe I didn't send it because I can't find it. That's fine. Um, we're all gonna be losers here soon, eventually. So, but of course, like there's still so many factors that show that like maybe this won't be as bad, but it really depends on how a lot of countries react. Because like, are they just gonna like just leave it be, or
No, they're
try
gonna.
to
I think
negotiate?
there's been a gentleman's agreement across developed nations that if the U.S. hikes tariffs on you, you should hike tariffs on them, and
Yeah.
then we'll help each other out. And
Right.
yeah, things will get more expensive still, but
Yeah.
at least we'll be insulated from the overall effect, and the Americans can take it on the chin. And that's I think what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen is we're just going to have to suffer through these next at least a year, and then he'll probably do
Yeah.
something.
Given
I
like
hope so, Josh. Do you guys think Congress will actually remove Trump tariffs?
that's
I
the
think
hope.
I hope so. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, Stapat made the point earlier about like, do they care more about their reelection or do they care more about being, loyal to Trump?
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm waiting to see is with these AOC and Bernie rallies is I'm waiting to see MAGA people burn their MAGA gear and say like I made a mistake, MAGA is wrong. I'm ready to try it Bernie's way. Like I'm ready to try the old FDR way. Um, and that is not happening yet as best I can tell. I feel like I would have seen it. I haven't really looked recently, but I feel like there should be more and more videos of MAGA people just being like, "I'm out of here. It's done. I made a
Oh
mistake."
yeah.
And
Yeah. I'm sure.
until I start to see that happen, I'm really not going to be hopeful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there's definitely a handful out there for sure.
Right.
And like they probably just don't go viral. Um,
Right.
but a friend of mine who is a licensed therapist and was going to get a VA job, she routinely sends me um, Facebook posts of people who admit in these statuses that they voted for Trump and how they regret doing so because of this reason or that reason. And there's quite a lot. Like there's a consistent influx of them. And there's more and more um, that pop up every day, basically.
Well, if you only
Especially
voted
the
for
worst
him,
that,
if you only voted for him once, then I could see you coming back pretty easily. If you voted for him twice,
yeah,
obviously that's more difficult, but still relatively possible. If you voted for him three times, I don't know, man.
yeah. It's like you
I
said,
don't
three
know.
strikes and you're out. That's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just I don't know if you voted for him three times. Like, I mean, maybe I'm sure there's some percentage of those people that are intellectually accessible, but very few. I mean, three times. Like,
right.
what were you thinking?
Of course. And it's
Um,
like you were all fucking warned. I mean, come on. Like I just want to like shake these people awake. It's like the libtards were right. The libtards were fucking right. Look, like explain what he's doing. Why is it like? How does this make sense to you? Fucking he's destroying the fucking global economy. He's like shrinking everyone's 401ks. He's fucking eviscerating all like human health services, the VA, fucking SNAP, Medicaid, all this fucking shit. It's just like complete deconstruction of America. It's like, come on. It's like a lot of them just too wrapped up in the cult. Okay, so Megan, yes, yes, I see you. I see you. I'm gonna get to it. So largest individual losses due to the giant sell-offs in the market due to the announcement of the tariffs by Trump. Um, so the headline here from Nexta, I guess, I think it's like this big old tweet or something like that. Warren Buffett is the only one among the world's 500 richest people who didn't lose money due to Trump's tariffs. On the contrary, he profited. Interesting. That's because the 94-year-old American magnate began selling off shares of U.S. companies immediately after Trump took office. Yeah, because fucking he's smart and knows that.
chaos.
Yeah,
He knew that
Trump is
chaos was coming. He
chaos.
read he read Project 2025. He knew what was coming.
Probably. Yeah, he understands that like the economy was not good deep into Trump's first term. It took a little bit for his policies to like show the effects of the policies to show themselves, but a lot of it unfortunately got fucking uh
What?
it got lost in the sauce. Like when COVID hits, the effects of the economy of his Trump's economic policies weren't actually seen to the extent that they could have been if the world didn't fall into a quick COVID recession, because there were warning signs even before the lockdowns started, because of Trump's economic policies. But people
Yeah, you were
like,
smart, Josh. You were really smart, buddy. I wish I
yeah,
had. I wish I had the opportunity to go 100% cash.
right, yeah, even by U.S. bonds who have no faith in credit in U.S. government. Yeah, yeah, a lot of yeah, Megan saying that Warren Buffett actually went to long-term bonds. Um, Also like Doug Collins. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but so there's 17 names here. These were like the biggest
All right, just give me
lose.
five. Go.
Yeah, yeah. Number one would be Elon Musk, who lost nearly 20 billion. Second would be Jeff Bezos, who lost 7.5 billion. Mark Zuckerberg 9.4 billion. Um, Bernard and Arnault, I guess he's a French billionaire, losing 5.2. Bill Gates 6.4. Actually, I'm not even reading the right ones. Elon Musk lost
Oh, great.
130 billion. Yeah, yeah, the YTD change. Because Warren Buffett's the only one here that's positive, and he's just below Bill Gates. Yeah, 130 billion lost by Elon Musk. 45.2 lost by Jeff Bezos. Zuckerberg lost 28.1. Bernard
Really?
Arnault, yeah, the fucking
Zuckerberg lost 28.1. Jesus
28
Christ.
fucking billion dollars, dude. The guy from
Yeah, these
France,
numbers make more. These numbers make more sense. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, 18.6 billion. Bernard Arnault. Bill Gates lost 3.3, and Warren Buffett gained 12.7. So he made a really good fucking bet on Trump.
Yeah, good for
Uh,
him.
and that piece of shit Larry Ellison actually lost 42.1 billion fucking dollars. See if I've recognized any of the other names here. Larry Page lost 34.6 billion. Yeah, just insane. Insane. Michael Dell losing 36.2. Um, yeah, absolutely fucking nuts. Like that's incomprehensible. Like the
But
numbers
it's
that
not
big.
real. But that's the whole testament is that it's not real money,
Not really, no.
right? It's like it's not real money because the money has to move to become cash. Like there's a difference between
Right.
investment money
Hmm.
and cash money. Like, people
Right.
don't think about different kinds of money in ways because we don't really teach people how to manage money. And
Sure.
we don't really, that's not really part of our core education is to teach
Yeah.
people about like how the economy works. Like economics 101 should
Right.
be a senior year in high school class because people need to know about how interest rates work and so forth.
Yeah. Like
I
the
don't think
most.
most of them. I don't think most of them do.
Yeah, yeah. The most you'll learn is like how to fucking work a cash register and make change and shit. It's like they don't really go above and beyond that, like what, like,
No,
and you don't even really have to worry about like balancing a checkbook anymore because everything's fucking digital. So you can just
right,
like manage your finances through apps, if
right.
like whatever your bank provides and shit. So like, yeah, yeah. But I couldn't agree more. It's just like like teach a class, like have a lesson on buying and trading stock.
All right, man. I'm pretty wiped, but
I don't blame you. it's
all
been a
right.
it's been a
You
weekend for
should
me.
you should keep going for sure if you feel like it.
Uh,
Um,
for sure.
and then let's talk more and try to do it Wednesday because Wednesday's Appomattox Day, and I want to definitely try. I'm definitely gonna go online. It'd be cool if you could join me on Wednesday.
I'll try. I'll see what I got going on. I started this band and we try to get together once a week to jam on shit that I've written and whatnot. And usually Thursdays are our go-to days. But there's a couple times we've had to do it Wednesdays. But I'll wait. I'll weigh the whole thing and I'll keep you posted on that.
All right, sounds good, man. So for my audience, please don't forget that you don't get change in America by asking nicely. See you my next episode of Morning Bro. I'm bringing back Morning Bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Talk to you later. See you, Stat
Have
Pat.
have a good one, dude.